All right guys, what's up? Killer Toy Tops back here again in the garage. And this is the official install video for our roof rack. What we have here is everything you're gonna get in the box laid out on the hood of Bino. So you're gonna need a drill, an Allen, some tape and a marker, a pair of nippers, stepper bits, a tape measure. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install this gasket. And this just goes on pretty easily. Looking good, now this is installed. We're gonna use, so this 1/2" hardware, have a lock washer, flat washer, and we're gonna take these. It is easier to run the knob up. We just wanna go in until the threads are flush with the bottom. Everything assembled, flat washer, our lock washer, button head hardware, T-nuts on the back. Slide our crossbar on. So you just line them up and then just slide them on in. Tighten these up. Now it's time to go ahead and put the crossbars on. So we're just gonna install this in the top here. It's the cleanest look. For right now, we're going to set the crossbar up as far back as we can go without covering this hole right here. And again, I'm not going all the way tight, especially until I've got all my hardware in. Now that I have hardware all the way around, I'm gonna go around and tighten everything up. All right, the next step is to find center. I'm gonna measure from the inside here, and I'm gonna come 21.5 and make more work. All right, so once we get the roof rack up basically where we want it to be, we're gonna put our tape down, and then we're gonna mark our tape where center is, front and rear. Really the best way to do that is we're gonna take an educated guess. We're gonna measure from the same spot on both sides. We're gonna get a total measurement. We're gonna divide it by 2, and that'll be our first mark. 51.25 divided by 2, 25 and 5/8. And we're gonna go ahead and check it. It's as precise as you want it to be. So doing the front is a little more tricky. You're gonna wanna make sure you have roughly the same angle and elevation. I want the tape to just be in the corner of this windshield right here. 51.125 divided by 2, 25 and 9/16. Again, we're gonna drop the rack on. You can see that there's a gap right here. We're gonna slide it back until there's no more gap. We're gonna line up our marks. Now we're gonna take a look without moving it. This is Matt's rig, so let's bring Matt in and see what he thinks. Yeah, I think she looks good. It's very carefully, without moving anything, we're gonna mark. I'm gonna mark out each of these circles just directly on here. Remove the roof rack, drill the holes, and then we'll do our final placement and we'll bolt it in place.
Okay, so with our step bit, we're gonna be just eyeball where you're gonna be going. We're gonna be going 1 past quarter.
Now that we have our holes drilled, we're gonna go ahead and remove all of our tape. And now we just need to bolt this in. So here we have 2 brackets and they are mirrored of each other. These will have a little handle on them. The handle goes towards the front, towards the inside of the cab, and down. So it'll sit flush on the roof line of the vehicle. This slides back and these bolts just line up right there. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to start all 3 on this side. We'll start all 3 on that side, be a little bit more on the gentle side, get everything started, slowly tighten it down, and then once everything's pretty snug, then you can go ahead and we'll tighten up the rest of the way. Flashlight helps here. All right, so one thing I want to mention here is actually gaining access to underneath. Now we've already removed it on this truck, but the headliner is super accessible here. It is glued in, so there's a couple of things we got to do. So we're just gonna grab in the middle and we're gonna pull it down. Now you can see that there's some glue remnants here. You wanna be very careful and start at the corners, work your way very slowly, peeling the headliner from one side to the other. Once you get it to this point, you can pull it down a little bit further. There's 3 spring bars in there that you can move around. But once you get that off, you can get this up inside. You get this bracket in there and hold on to it, but just slipping your hand up there. Now that you've seen what it does, you can actually get inside with just your hand, line everything up from the top, and secure it that way. Once you get these started, then go ahead and torque them down. Take your time getting them started because that's gonna be critical. The roof rack's on. Now, last thing we gotta do is add that other crossbar and put the other crossbars wherever you want them. Go ahead and reinstall the headliner, pull the headliner tight, and then install that seal strip right on top of it, pinching it in place. There you go. there's the install video. And if you have any other questions, you know where to find us. It's late, so we're gonna call it a night. We'll see you on the next one.